Last week, the legislation was passed in the ACT. That builds on existing legislation in Tasmania, and also there's legislation under consideration in Victoria. The legislation makes it unlawful to communicate in a way that can be seen or heard on the subject of abortion within a specified distance of clinics, say 150 metres. And I think the concern is it may actually be unconstitutional if challenged, because there's a very strong freedom to communicate on political subjects implied in our Constitution since the case of Lange and ABC. So it'd be very interesting to see what the future of these laws is.
Okay. Is anyone actually looking at challenging that, or are you just speaking theoretically?
I'm speaking theoretically, but I wouldn't be surprised because it's an issue of freedom of speech, and there are workers outside abortion clinics for organisations like the Helpers who do sidewalk counselling, and they have in the last few years in Melbourne alone seen 300 or so babies born as a result of their counselling services. And I've read the moving letters of thanks from the mothers and with photographs of the children, and it's a beautiful thing. So there will be those who want to see that work continue.
Okay. Now, I understand that you've described these legislation changes as unnecessary. Are you saying protesters should be allowed to harass vulnerable women, you know, who, let's face it, may be making the hardest decision of their lives?
No, they shouldn't be able to, but existing police powers enable police to move on protesters or individuals who are harassing, who are being a public nuisance. And also the legislation is just clumsy. It doesn't just stop that kind of behaviour. It stops communication in general, full stop, and it reaches out and bans other things as well.
Okay.